But basically, she was more of a home person. I come back, she says, I thought you were going to be home at 9. It's 9:30 or something like that. Every day there was like an occasion like that.
She didn't want to be with someone who was walking for 7 straight hours from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m.
I could go to Brady Street at night. She'd like text me and say, hey, somebody...
Did she think you were cheating on her or something?
No,
you were
no,
just
no.
on the move. Hey everyone, welcome back to Milwaukee Uncut. I'm your host, Richie Burke, and wow, we just got done recording with a absolute Milwaukee legend. Some would consider him a real-life superhero, and he did not disappoint. The man claims to walk 45 to 55 miles a day on average, and a lot of people called cap on that when we posted a viral clip the first time he came on. So we debunked it a little bit. We got into that. We got into his relationship status, if there are any Milverine groupies in Milwaukee. So we dive into that. So we dove into that. His appearance singing with Eric Andre at the rave, the Brewers' first pitch. It's RNC week, so we talked a little politics and what he hopes people walk away with from the RNC or from Milwaukee being in the spotlight this week. We go over his favorite walks in Milwaukee and just some other absolutely mind-blowing facts about this guy. So if you're interested in the Milverine, curious, intrigued, if you like Milwaukee, this episode is good for you. Just a reminder before we dive in, this is presented by Central Standard Distillery. This stuff is really good in the summer right here. Milverine has never had a drop of alcohol in his life, but I have, and I do enjoy Door County cherry vodka. I mean, especially on the golf course, mix this stuff with electrolyte powder, and that is just magic on there. And it doesn't weigh you down. You get kind of hydrated, or it cancels out the non-hydration of alcohol, and it gives you a little aiming juice, as they call it. This episode is also presented by Nicolay Law, the Midwest law firm. Russell's nice face will be behind me during this episode. Big fan of Russell and Cassie over there and the work that Nicolay does. So if you are injured at all, if you need an attorney, Nicolay Law. They are on about 1,000 billboards and also in this podcast studio, and they're good people. Okay, enough of that. Let's dive in with the Milverine. Milverine, how are you doing today?
Really good.
Second appearance on the show. I mean, you got a lot of action on the first one, a lot of comments, a lot of love, a lot of people hating on you. We'll give you a chance to defend yourself, a lot of questions. So I'm excited to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. It's the first interview went really good.
Well, thank you. We strive to do that here at Milwaukee Uncut. You walked in shirtless off the street. It's about 88 degrees out there, but you put a shirt on for this interview. So you're here. How's your summer going?
Oh, perfect.
What have you been up to?
Well, we go me and my dog doesn't like it really hot, so we've been going out at night. We've been out basically from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. all over the place, by the Summerfest grounds, Brady Street, a lot of activity, Oakleaf Trail. So many places you can go in Milwaukee.
7 a.m. to 3 a.m. What are your sleeping hours typically? You're a healthy guy. I'm guessing you get some sleep.
Probably from 5 a.m. to noon.
All right. 5 a.m. to noon.
Right. 7 hours sleep. That's all you need, really.
Then do you do anything when you wake up before that 3 o'clock hour when you're just walking?
Usually when I'm all warmed up, I lift weights.
You said 7 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah. Then when I get home at 3 a.m., I feed my dog. Then I work out with weights probably for an hour twice a week. Other than that, I just read, check the messages and everything, and then just go to bed. Mm-hmm.
Simple life. Are you working at all right now?
No, I'm semi-retired.
Construction, right?
Yeah, I got to have a couple surgeries on my shoulders. I'll be back to normal and everything. I'm never going to retire. Like great-grandfather, I'm going to live to be 100 years old, I know I am,
How the shoulders coming along? I know they were injured
It's
last
basically,
time
I can lift maybe max right now, do some work with 30 and 40-pound dumbbells, but I used to be using hundreds of 120s. I have to have surgery so I can get up to that strength level again. But it's no problem. I heal really fast after surgery. Yeah. I've already had 4 surgeries.
You've been walking all around the city. The RNC kicks off today. For those of you listening, we're recording this on Monday afternoon. So people came in last night. They had some events. There's been a bunch going on today. What have you seen?
Okay, I was down all around the downtown area yesterday when they were setting up. You saw all the buses. The people are coming in here for a convention. They expect 50,000 people here, for the convention. It's not just the people actually going to it, just people that want to be around the area. And plus, I saw the National Guard, Secret Service, Sheriff, Milwaukee Police. One time I saw 30 Milwaukee Police riding by on bikes. Usually they're maybe 4 at the most. So they're up on hill areas. They're up on roofs. So nothing's going to happen. You have to get through the tightest security I've ever seen here in Milwaukee.
What do you think of the RNC coming to Milwaukee?
And it's really surprising me. I'm in politics. Milwaukee's known as a blue-collar city, so they have Republican Party coming here and everything. Like Trump, you think of Trump, you think of New York City, Mar-a-Lago. Milwaukee's like a blue-collar city. So you think you have like the Democratic convention. So when a Republican convention comes here, it's really surprising.
Speaking of the RNC, there was a Facebook page made with about 12,000 followers vying for you to be president in 2016. I saw that when I was doing my research. Did you ever consider running for office? People wanted to see the Milverine.
No. Because basically, you got to basically try to get 50% of the vote. So basically what you have to say. And sometimes you say things that you really don't believe in. They basically stretch the truth or something. So I had no interest in running for office.
You're a big opera guy. Did you make it down to Summerfest at all this year?
Of course.
You see anyone or roam the grounds?
I can't name specific groups. I go there when I know it's not going to rain out. I walk around, see a lot of people I haven't seen before. And if I hear something I like, I go and watch it. I don't just sit in one spot. You just see it. There's a lot of good groups, too numerous to mention,
Do they let you bring the dog in?
No.
No.
They'd have to let everybody. There'd be dog fights all over the place.
Did you go with friends or are you just solo?
I go by myself because nobody can keep up with me. I don't want to sit in one spot. I want to graduate. I want to see 20 different acts in one day,
I love that. Do you ever go places with friends or can no one keep up with you?
Nobody can keep up with me. It's not even close. I mean, they always think man, you're in a car. They say, when is it going to end? Like when they take the Oak Leaf Trail, they see it on a map. They think they can walk in 5 minutes, So they say, when is it going to end? And they don't want to do it.
Do you ever go to a park and sit down and just enjoy the view and have conversation, or are you just always on the move?
Really rarely do I stop, So I want to get on the move,
Most of your friendly interactions, you go to some events sometimes. At least I see you at them, right?
Yeah, what type of events?
I don't know, your wrestling events.
Oh yeah, I had a wrestling.
Events. You're at the raves sometimes. I see you.
Yeah, Eric Andre. When I was with Eric Andre, they got the most basically attention of anything I've ever done. He's real popular, probably with people 20 to 40 or whatever.
How did the Eric Andre thing happen? That was at the rave, right?
Yeah, some guy that works in publicity there. He called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to appear with a special guest with Eric Andre?" I said, "Okay,
But you don't go to a bar or park and hang out with friends?
Oh no. I got time just sit around for hours,
Why do you always have to be on the move?
Because that's basically, basically if I don't get a lot of exercise, I really can't sleep that good. I'm built like somebody has to be on the move all the time.
You're just wired differently.
Yeah, right.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah.
Eric Andre, was that the first time that you've sang on a big stage before? It looked like it was in front of a good amount of people. And
that was once.
Flexing the pipes a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Another time, I sang the national anthem for a comedy roast championship at the Milwaukee Improv in Brookfield. That was basically, hey, do you want to sing the national anthem? Oh, okay.
How does one book Milverine to sing the national anthem?
Usually it's basically just on Instagram or Facebook. They get in contact me with the message thing.
Do you have email yet?
No.
I remember the first time you came on, I asked you on Facebook Messenger what your email was so I could send you an invite, and you said you did not have.
I didn't get on social media at all till November 2022.
You're killing it right now. I mean, the demand has been there. People have been talking about you on social media till about 2013, since 2013, I think.
Yeah, right.
Do you enjoy being on social media? Seems like you're posting a bunch.
Yeah, it's okay and everything because, people want to see where my dog's been and where we've been and everything. A lot of people some of these people are my friends, I'm 61, so a lot of people are even older than me, and some of these people can't get out that much. They haven't been to these areas for a while, and I show them what they look like. There's this woman that lives out in California, went to Washington High School 50 years ago. So when I post these pictures, she's, oh yeah, I remember that area,
That's cool. It's a good way for you to connect with people directly.
Just talked to a guy from Devon, England yesterday.
Yeah.
He was a fan of mine for years. He wanted to meet me. Some guy from England,
Especially since no one can keep up with you in real life, so at least they can communicate with you on social media.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that. What is the craziest fan interaction that you've had before?
After that one, I did some like thing with Vice Video, and some guy, he comes running out of the car, start talking to me. He's like, I asked him where he's from. He says Brookfield. He had a real strong British accent. So I said before Brookfield. He says England. That guy was going on and talking really fast, taking pictures, and he went to the back of his car and took out a sword, and started swinging it around like he wanted to show me how good he is with a sword. The guy, I said, put it away. The cops would probably shoot you. You think you're nuts. He said, oh, okay,
Just excited to see like a live superhero in real life. He had to pull out the sword, maybe try and prove himself to you. Yeah,
for like 5 minutes, he's wired as hell, like talking really fast with that English accent. It's like one of those comic things you see in a movie that couldn't happen in real life.
Any crazy messages you get on social media from people?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like when you say crazy, like,
I don't know, anything unexpected, any weird requests, anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Some people want to say, hey, just say happy birthday on Instagram to one of my friends and I'll send you some money or something.
You ever do that?
No, because I don't want to get involved with making money out of it,
You don't want to make any money off being the Milverine?
No, I talked to this Charlie Barron's guy. Somebody told me that the guy charges up to like $10,000 for an appearance. They got him at that Putler's Hall thing. They didn't pay him anything. Maybe he was a friend of those guys. I know Barron's is a real nice guy and everything, and he probably deserves getting paid that because look at all these other guys. Like Bill Maher, they canceled here. Maher was probably getting like $10 million from HBO every year.
Yeah, Barron's was super nice. He came on here last fall. We aired it in December, right around when you were. But yeah, I mean, he gets paid a lot of money from Brad because he commands so much attention.
Yes.
And I mean, if he does a show, he's filling the arena. So yeah, he makes a lot of money. You could make some solid money, probably being the Milverine.
Yeah,
some
I don't
appearances,
want to, right?
Some brand deals, nothing.
I think money makes people soft. Look at all the great fighters you get from poverty.
Doesn't mean you need to stop. But you think you'll stop walking 50 miles a day if you get some money from being the Milverine?
Well, it does make people. I'm not going to be posing at some tropical beach like some of these cage fighters. Then they get into a fight and they get the crap knocked out of them. I think you got to always remember where you came from. You came like from coal mining people. You should have people like coal miners hanging up on your walls. Never forget that, It's Joe Kozagi, my favorite fighter, boxer. He's from Wales. He had a picture up on his walls. All his relatives worked in those coal mines. So anytime he thought he had it tough, he saw that picture,
So like the deal, I've seen you do some stuff with brands. I saw you do some stuff with Unfinished Legacy. Was that just like, you like them, they like you, or did you get any money for that?
Yeah, one time I was walking by, I saw a picture of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was the big name in the 70s. I was growing up, the fight of the century, Frazier against Ali. So I took a picture in front of that. Based on that picture, hey man, why don't you do something with Unfinished Legacy? So I did,
Yeah.
That got almost as much attention as the Eric Andre thing.
They got a big following. So there was no money exchange. You like them.
They said they'd pay me something, but they gave me a couple of good shirts. So they said it's good enough.
Well, we appreciate you coming down here. I'd give you some of the Central Standard Distillery stuff if you drank it all, but I know you do not drink and you have a strict plant-based diet.
Right.
Pretty strict at least.
Right.
You do like ice cream once in a while though, right?
Yeah.
And energy drinks once in a while.
Right. They just opened a Ben & Jerry's on 3rd Ward.
Oh man. You might. I know you don't go to any restaurants.
No.
Will you actually step into the Ben & Jerry's?
Maybe on a real hot day,
What would make you step into the Ben & Jerry's?
Maybe like if you get a taste for ice cream, you haven't had anything to eat for a while,
When was the last time you went to a restaurant?
Oh boy, probably like 50 years ago.
50?
Yeah.
You're 61?
Yeah.
You guys didn't eat out at all when you were growing up?
No. We went to McDonald's. Like last time I was like 11 years old. You just get in there and get that hamburger fried soda, bring it home and eat it,
I think you're going to get some comments in the that people are not going to believe that you have not been to you've been alive on planet Earth and have not been to a restaurant in 50 years.
I know, that's hard to believe, but it's the truth.
What do you usually eat?
I usually like an organic plant-based diet. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. If you get like protein drink made out of like plant-based protein, and that's the way to go. If you look at all independent research that says that's the best. I haven't been sick one day in 20 years.
You're looking lean for 62.
Yeah.
Or for any age, for that matter.
Right.
What's the most unhealthy thing you eat sometimes?
Well, once in a while, maybe ice cream, and a candy once in a while, rarely.
I've seen you post pictures with an energy drink.
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Do you drink those much?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes they look at the most outlandish one, like Atomic Energy Blast or something. Say, hey, man, this is the key, man. You drink one of these, you have energy for hours.
I work with a guy, and I love energy drinks.
Yeah.
Especially orange creamsicle, berry blast. I mean, it's hard to go into a gas station and not get one for me. And I was like, are those really bad for you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what about the ones with no calories and no sugar that are fitness energy drinks? And he's like, that's probably the worst source of caffeine you could get because they pump all this other shit in there. So I've been off of them for about a month now, switched over to coffee, and feeling better, actually.
As long as you get 7 or 8 hours sleep, you can drink that stuff. Sometimes I take up to 2,000 milligrams of caffeine a day.
2,000 milligrams?
Yeah.
Of what? How do you get?
Well,
2,000
basically
milligrams?
energy drinks. You can take pills. You can take these up your gas tablets. They got they got different types of caffeine to hit your system, like guarana. Then they got ginseng. All these type of things that people think from all different countries, all in one pill you can take.
Milverine, how do you get 8 hours of sleep with 2,000 milligrams of caffeine?
From walking that far.
All right.
You talk to all these
do you cut it off before you go to bed at a certain hour? You're
of
not
course,
taking...
probably like the last 3 hours before I go to bed, I don't have anything.
Jesus. Okay. All right. That is nuts. I like that.
That's the key to basically covering a lot of distance is stimulants,
Yeah.
All those, I wrote this.
All of this is legal, though. You're not on any illegal
No.
substances.
Steroids, it's for idiots, all this.
No steroids, no cocaine, no alcohol.
None of that stuff.
None of that stuff. Okay, good. Just wanted to clarify when you say stimulants.
Right.
Because I know you keep it clean over there.
Right. You can buy it store. You had this ball wong stuff they used to have in these ingredients. They banned it here. People were getting basically a lot of strokes and everything, and heart attacks, high blood pressure. That was one of the best things ever, that ingredient,
Milverine, what is your relationship status? Are you single? Are you in the game? Are you tied down? What is going on in the
Well,
Milverine's
the thing is,
love
I
life?
tried that once. I had a girlfriend, I broke up a year and a half ago. She's 20 years younger than me. Didn't want to go outside at all. Straight A student, violinist, all this, really intelligent. But basically, she was more of a home person. I come back, she says, I thought you were going to be home at 9. It's 9:30 or something like that. Every day there was like an occasion like that.
She didn't want to be with someone who was walking for 7 straight hours from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m.
I could go to Brady Street at night. She'd text me and say, hey, somebody...
Did she think you were cheating on her or something?
No,
you were just on the move.
She was one of these people that's really over anxious, thinking something bad's going to happen. She had a lot of bad experience,
Okay.
So she thought if I go to Brady Street, I get shot or something.
Did you guys go on any dates since you said you
Yeah,
haven't
we went
been
to
to a
Nashville
restaurant?
North. She went to
You
Hale.
went into Nashville North?
Yeah, she went to West Allis Hale. One of her friends that she went to high school with was playing in a group there. So we went there, She's acting wild as hell, I mean, they're like a straight A student. You wouldn't expect that, but when she goes out, she wants to be the life of the party.
She takes shots and everything?
She drinks, I did,
Yeah.
I had a Red Bull.
That's only about 200 of your 2,000 milligrams of
I
caffeine
know.
right there.
Right
there. Did you guys go on any other date spots since you said you don't
we
sit
went
down
to
at parks?
chill at a hill at Humboldt Park.
That's a nice place.
Yeah.
Were you able to chill on the hill, or were you just pacing around the hill the entire
She
time?
told me I could go over there, and she walked the dog around the park, and she'd meet me at a certain spot. And I went to that spot. She wasn't there. She just wandered off. I had to get 5 young guys to go find her,
What's the dating life like now? You getting any inquiries? You get any messages?
Yeah.
Are there Milverine groupies in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I do. But I tried that before, and I don't want to be questioned, what time I'm going to be here and all that, I don't want to have to deal with it, to tell you the truth.
All right, so you're just a man on the move.
Yeah, if you don't have a girlfriend, if you're not married, you can just take off anytime you want, come back anytime you want.
You can.
Right.
That's fair. So do you think you will date someone in the future, or have you just given up?
Probably given up. I tried it, man. It was the worst 4 months of my life. I'm telling you the truth.
Hopefully she's not listening to this episode.
No, I hope not. Hey, believe it or not, because of the conventions here, before me, her boyfriend, for 2 years, she was engaged to the chief of staff, the Reince Priebus, the head of the Republican National Committee.
Really?
Yeah, so the last time we watched in November 2022 were the election results.
Interesting. What if there's a woman out there who likes walking through the night and can walk at about 5 to 7 miles an hour?
I doubt it.
I'm just hypothetical situation.
It's possible.
Would you be open to that?
Probably not.
Are you kidding me?
Because
didn't bitch at you about getting home? Just was with the program.
Yeah, I'm like my dad. My dad had 2 bars. He talked to people. All of a sudden, he wanted to work 3rd shift for 20 years. So he could either talk to everybody or talk to nobody. I'm like that too. I could be like, talk to nobody for a full year. No problem. If I was put in solitary confinement for 2 years, it wouldn't affect me at all.
Really?
I put my mind to it. You know, I could put my mind to something and just do it.
Would you just walk around the confinement?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
man, fascinating. Okay. We have some more events that you've done since you came on. You got to throw the Brewers' first pitch last fall. How did that happen?
Yeah, the guy that does it, the thing, he got in contact with me. Say, hey, do you want to throw out the first pitch? He said, okay. What time did I get there? So I know where it is. So I just got there. Threw the first pitch out.
I mean, social media just went apeshit.
I know.
When you did that.
I grew up playing baseball, so I had no problem throwing, So that was really, I got a good seat for the game. I remember at Old County Stadium, you sit way up in the upper deck. I mean, you really didn't get a good look at the field, but every seat there at that American Family Field is really good. It's like a perfect setting for a baseball game.
They've done a great job with that
Right.
place. What was it? Did you ever do that before?
No.
What was it like for you? That's pretty cool. You were a Brewers fan growing up. You're a big sports fan.
Yeah, because one of my favorite players, everybody wanted to see her, is Nolan Ryan. I mean, this guy plays, so he's like his mid-40s, still throwing like 100 miles an hour. So I always picture myself as being a Nolan Ryan,
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, the response you got was,
I know,
I don't know if anyone who threw the first pitch was more popular or has been more popular. I saw that thing all over social media.
Yeah, that was part of like Marvel comic nights. They had like, they were throwing like things to the crowd. Like, somebody like, even if you got millions of dollars and they can get something free, they go to get it,
Anything you want to say to the Brewers or Brewer fans?
Oh, yeah, the Brewer fans, Milwaukee. Let's hope they win another pennant. It's been since the Braves. When my dad had a bar downtown, when the Braves were doing good. They haven't won a pennant, World Series since 1957. And New York City is Bush League, not Milwaukee. Casey Stengel said Milwaukee's Bush League.
Do you think this year could be the year they win the pennant? They're rolling right now.
Yeah.
They're rolling.
Right. You have to have that confidence, 162 games, you have to just have that patience, one game at a time.
Do you think they'll have you back to throw the first pitch?
Well, maybe. The Brewers, the last time they made a World Series is 1982, and they lost in the 7th game. So they almost won it in 82.
Do you remember that?
Oh, of course.
Where were you?
I was watching it home with my dad. He's a huge baseball fan, man. Joaquin Angela, the pitcher for St. Louis, won that game. He was real good at the time. They were real close to winning that. They had Don Sutton. They got him. And it was real close. Went to 7 games. One of the best series of all time, the World Series of all time.
Oakley, are you going to go sit by Milverine?
Oakley. Woo! Doesn't like me.
Oh, man. Well, he'll warm up to you. He'll warm up to you. Any other really cool opportunities you've gotten?
Okay.
Butler's Hall, Eric Andre, the Brewers, anything else?
Sometimes, people want me for these music videos. I just talked to some group called Diet Light. I did something, this guy contact Ryan Olda, this guy that,
what kind of music videos?
It was like
rap videos?
Yeah, it's mostly like pop videos, but this thing I did with this Diet Light group, they're making a basically like a story about themselves. So there was no music involved in that one, but this Ryan Olda, this guy with Wisconsin News Today, it's like outlandish comic thing. Some of the stuff they do, sometimes they go way over the top with it. And I did something with Diet Light, this real popular group here in Milwaukee. I think they got like close to 6,000 followers on Instagram. Mm.
Nice. Okay. We went over your walking last time. On the video, you claim that you walk 45 to 50 miles per day and have maxed out at 75 to 80 miles.
Yeah.
A lot of people called cap on that, saying it is not true. What is your response?
My response to that is basically, what am I going to do? I film myself walking for 15 hours? Everybody want to watch a 15-hour video? I'm just telling you I can do it. Most people can't because I've walked my whole life. My great-grandfather lived to be 100 years old. He thought if somebody was 1 ounce overweight, they were fat. These guys that grew up in these hard times, depressions and everything, they would do anything. You couldn't tell them they couldn't do anything. Look at these guys that worked on the railroads.
People were saying the math did not add up. So you start at 7 and you end at 3. Basically, right? So that is 8 hours.
Oh!
8 hours times you had.
Okay, what they're doing, they're taking the wrong equation. Look, 7 to 3 on average. If I'm going to walk like 75 miles, it'd be a 15-hour walk. I walk 5 miles an hour. 5 times 15, 75.
7 to 3 is still 40 miles.
Right. Okay, but basically when I say 40 to 45 miles, that's on an average. Sometimes it's like 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. I'm saying then that would be 10 hours. That'd be 50 miles.
What's an off day for you like?
There's no off days.
What's a light day for you like?
Probably like 30, 40 miles. But I'm saying on the average, if you average like the 70 miles and you walk 40 miles, that's 110. What was 110 and a half would be 55. Some people don't know really math. They should go back to the basics and learn their ABCs. Trying to be sarcastic here.
What is your normal route? Say you're gonna go do a 50 piece.
Okay, believe it or not, I don't want to go past Oklahoma, go that way. The land of the ranch houses. I like the older architecture, the River West area, Brady Street, the Oak Leaf Trail, the one that goes by Shorewood, like the older neighborhoods, I don't like going way out in the middle of nowhere. I don't really like walking out to these suburbs, like out in the middle of nowhere. Like once you get past 124th Street, it's like farm country. I don't like that. I like the denser city.
How many laps are you doing if you start at your house in Bayview, you go up to Shorewood,
right,
and then you come back? That's not 40. Do you do a couple laps?
Well, of course. We go down Brady Street, we go down Oakland Avenue, we go down all those areas around there. We just don't walk there and come back. We go this way, that way. We run around by the railroad tracks, by the river. My dog doesn't get tired either. They were built for it to be dawn to dusk. Nowadays with these people, they get these dogs and they have the dog, they take it for like a 20-minute walk and it spends the rest of the day looking out the window.
Oakley. He likes going on the golf course. Golf's his favorite sport.
Ooh, probably chases the ball, right?
Oh, yeah, he loves it. Yeah, he chases the ball, and then he doesn't return them. And then he barks at me while I'm swinging. We're doing a podcast with Milverine. We were just talking about you. And you like playing golf.
Okay, you know what I'm saying about the walking and everything? That's on the average. Sometimes I walk longer than that. I don't walk there back. I walk around, keep moving. And I know I can walk 5 miles an hour. And how many hours you just timed that,
Yeah.
Walk for 10 hours, 5 miles an hour, that's 50 miles. A lot of people like making these cracks and everything. They don't know that I never had a car and everything. Look what people used to do before cars.
Yeah.
People were a lot leaner. They could move all day long. Some of these animals, like my dog's a Beagle Shih Tzu. Beagles are dawn to dusk. They bred them that way. Their lungs are so powerful that they basically can keep moving for 50 miles a day if they had to. Every day, 7 days a week. That's what they were bred to do.
This guy's a little soft over here, apparently. We had some other comments on the video that I wanted to bring up. Magic Fitzpatrick said he belongs in the Museum of Natural History.
Oh, really? Yeah, it would be like put right next to like the first like orangutan found or something,
You're better looking than an orangutan, Milverine.
Well, natural history, you think of basically something like that or some freak type thing or, like...
Do you think he was trying to insult you or compliment you? I kind of looked at it as a compliment.
Yeah, I like that because I got like a sense of humor. So you look at it that way,
A bunch of people said you looked like a caveman.
I agree. I mean, that's when you hear something like that, it's almost you falling over laughing,
Do you prefer looking like a Wolverine or the Wolverine?
Well, the thing is with the Wolverine, I really didn't know much about the X-Men. Some guy that, started, that works in the Third Ward. He's a big fan of comic books. Joe DiMaggio would have somebody, Joe DiMaggio, the famous baseball player, he would have somebody go into the comic book store to get him a comic book because he didn't want people to know he read comic books,
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not into like what do you call like modern culture, so I really didn't know much about the X-Men until this guy told me, then I heard about it. I'm called a Milverine because they got the patent on the name Wolverine, so Milverine from Milwaukee.
Louis Create said, I wonder what kind of shoes he wears and how often he buys a new pair.
Okay, I just get shoes like at Walmart for $25. Like the ones I got on, they're Avia, A-V-I-A. Mm-hmm. And basically the shoes, never have shoes on that are too small. That's the number one cause of foot problems, having on shoes that are too small. And you don't have to pay a lot. It's really what kind of shape you're in. If you're like 350 pounds and out of shape, you can have the best shoes on in the world. You won't be able to walk very far. Just get in shape and then get shoes that fit your feet that are not too small.
I switched to extra wide shoes
Yes.
this year, and that
Right.
has helped my feet a lot. I was having a bunch
Definitely.
of foot issues, and I got some
Yeah.
orthotics, and then switched to those. How often do you have to buy a new pair?
Probably I get a new pair every 3 months.
So that's about 4,500 miles
Yeah.
on a pair of shoes.
Right. I get foot pads too. As soon as they start wearing down, like here, you can get those foot pads for like $10. Like Dr. Scholl's or one of those foot pads. Like you can tell these shoes are starting to fall apart a little bit now. Probably good for another like week or two.
You are crazy. Okay. Final questions. What do you hope people coming from all over the country to Milwaukee being seen in the national spotlight, what do you hope people leave with this week?
Well, all the friendly people, the downtown area, Bradford Beach, Lake Park, just the whole area, just spread out. Just don't hang around one area. See the whole city and see basically all the friendly people. There's people here. You can see restaurants from like 30, 40 different, cuisines from 40 different countries. People think of Milwaukee just like German, Polish, and African Americans, but basically it's a lot of cultures all getting along. Every place I go, I see friendly people.
In any message to the citizens of Milwaukee for this summer?
Oh yeah, get out, man, have fun. Basically take the summer. It's 90 days. There's still like about 60 days to go. Go out, have fun during the summer. Then when the summer's over with, so what? And basically just plan ahead, see all the events, taking it all in, take the pictures, have all these great experiences. And then when the summer's over, don't be one of those people that say the summer went by fast, Take every day to the fullest,
Milverine, great seeing you. Love having you
Yeah.
on. Thanks for dropping
Thanks
down
a lot,
again.
man.